Yeah. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hallows, a Monster of the Week story here on Dice Priori. I am Matthew Foreman. Tonight I will be playing Martha, the expert. She uses she, her pronouns. I use he, him pronouns. Right off the bat, I want to say thank you to those of you who got the level 2 hype train started. We greatly appreciate the support. Thank you for the Prime subscriptions and the 1,000 bits from Mr. Frost. Thank you so much. What a great way to start off a stream, especially in a difficult day like today. We'll just say. So yeah, thank you all very much for that support. I'll keep the channel announcements brief. That is to say that we might be streaming more Tales from Gashari tomorrow, but just join our Discord and look there to see if we decide to stream it. And I think that's the only channel announcement I have. So yeah, next, throw it to Maria.
Hello, I'm Maria. I use they and she pronouns. You can find me on the internet at Happy Capster. And tonight I am playing Hektor Bartholomew, who uses he and him pronouns. And he is the 70-year-old mad scientist monster hunter who sometimes is sad and forgets things a lot. Alexis.
Hi, I'm Alexis. You can find me at VoxFodato on Twitters and such, and I use she, her pronouns, as does my character for this evening, Darlene, who uses the Hex playbook. She is a blood witch. Yes. My quick announcements are we had to postpone the finale of Hallowed Hearts, but stay tuned in our socials, on our Discord, for when the finale will be airing. Dealing with, chronic health issues and just general life things. So we will get that, we will get to that as soon as we are all healthy and able. Stay tuned for that. I think that's everything from me right now. Emma.
Hello, hi, I'm Emma. You can find me at MK Hansen on Twitter, and I use she, her pronouns. And tonight I am playing Lucy Doe, who uses the Monstrous playbook. She is the resident Grim Reaper and generally cranky lady, who also uses she, her pronouns. Ty, take it away. Let's play some. What system is this again? Is this Monster of the Week? 2 dice? Well,
always. And I am Ty. I am your keeper for this evening and all evenings. I use he and pronouns. When we last left off in Hallows, our intrepid team of hunters had done a little bit more digging into the past of this lumberjack mascot that is terrorizing Hektor from his past. Hektor had a kind of relived the past through one of Martha's therapy sessions, seeing the fire and the destruction of the vast video vault, or V3, a VHS store from the 80s that had burned down because of a monster hunting accident. And after that, the party kind of reconvened as Lucy and Darlene did a little bit of research inside the library, getting a little bit more information about what happened. And everyone kind of reconvened back at the Wake and Bake, and that is where we will resume. Our story resumes at 2:43 a.m. Lucy, you sit on the couch in the front room. You're kind of in your half sleeping state, kind of in and out of it. 2 Siberian Huskies flank you on both sides. Brogy uses Blaze as a pillow, fast asleep. His notebook is still open in his hands. It reads, "What the fuck is Brisbane Steep?" Is the last thing he wrote. Your eyes unfocus from season 4 of Charmed, and you see tiny motes of crimson light speckling the entirety of your field of vision. You see thin lines connecting these motes, gently pulsing with energy. What do you do?
I blink a few times and I reach out to see if I can touch him.
Your hand passes through.
Are they everywhere when I move my head and eyes around?
Yeah, in your field of vision currently. Inside of this room you are in, you just see these tiny motes and these lines that are just gently pulsing with energy through them.
I'm gonna try and focus on them.
Okay,
Yes.
just looking at one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, roll. Weird.
Oh wait, where's my character sheet? Fuck. Wait, I know what it is. That's a 9.
With that, you focus on them and you kind of see your eyes kind of trail and you see these lights and these kind of veins traveling throughout the kitchen of Brogy's, up the stairs, down the hallway. And you look out the front window and you don't see any past that front window. What you do see is a blob of kind of yellowish gray light about 50 feet from the front door.
Yellowish gray light.
Yes, it's a little farther away because you're inside the main room. But it looks about 50 feet from the front door in this vision.
Is it like a gross yellow green or like a warm
Gray,
and inviting?
yellow gray. And
That's what I meant.
It's a little gross.
It's a little gross. Great. Well, I'm going to walk up just to the window then and like, I don't know, try to use kind of the same energy that I did when I was able to connect with the lumberjack.
Okay. You want to use that same kind of thing? Okay, roll it.
Yeah.
Ability.
Do I just use that ability? Can I? Oh,
Sure.
Okay. Okay, that's 12.
Oh, that is very good. Let me pull that bad boy up, or you can read it.
On a 10 plus, hold 3. And where's the creature right now? What is it planning to do? What is it planning to do right now? Who is it going to attack next? Who does it regard as its biggest threat? And how can I attract its attention? What is it planning to do right now?
What do you have any 3 in mind before I answer them? I'm still going to figure out in order. Do you have any others in mind?
Sure. I'm thinking of asking, what is it planning to do right now? Who is it going to attack next?
Sure.
And who does it regard as its biggest threat, I think?
Yeah. Okay. So as you kind of do the same, you're going to use your same ability to try to tunnel in. You kind of close your eyes for a second and your vision switches. And you now, wherever you are now staring at yourself in a window. About 50 feet from the front door. The things you kind of gain from this feeling, or from this new form you're in, what is it regard as the biggest threat? You can tell this thing is apprehensive and a little bit concerned about whatever is now over this house, over this breakfast, bed and breakfast that was not there earlier, days before. What is the biggest threat? What was the other one?
What is it planning to do right now, and who is it going to attack next?
Who it's going to attack next is the same. You know, it is the same feeling as you felt when you were underneath the shed in the school. It has sole focus on Hektor. It is not looking for any sort of like hostages or anything else. It just wants Hektor.
In like a malicious way, the same way it was with the lumberjack?
Sorry, did you say something else? Sorry, my mic, I have to change headphones. One more time?
Can you hear me now?
One more time?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So, does it have the same like angry and malicious feeling?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing is different.
Okay. Yikes.
And what it's going to do next is you feel yourself, like as this thing is looking at your body, as you are from its field of vision, you feel it begin to sink lower and lower as it begins to pass through the ground. Its field of vision just right above the grass, and then it just sinks. And then you are back in your own body.
Oh dear. What time is it right now?
2:42 a.m.
What time did we all go to bed?
Around like 11 midnight, I think.
Yikes. Fuck, sorry, I need a minute to figure out how she would handle this. I don't think she wants to wake anybody up after the ordeal that Hektor went through.
Okay.
Oh, she might wake Martha up, actually. So she's gonna really quietly walk down to Martha's room and like very gently, but just loud enough that it would hopefully stir somebody on her door.
Martha's eyes so Martha lays sleeping flat on her back with her hands usually just on her stomach or on her side, and she just opens her eyes very quickly. She kind of looks around, swings up, sits up, and softly she says, "Yeah, who is it?"
Martha, it's Lucy. Or I'm sorry to wake you. Can I talk to you about something I just saw outside?
Yeah. Yes. Martha grabs her magnum, her gun, and puts it towards her back, and will go come to meet Lucy. Did you want to talk in my room or outside?
No, let's talk in your room.
Oh, okay.
And I would relay everything from start to finish to Martha.
Okay. So what is this thing? it's a blob of malintent. That's what
ill
Matthew
intent.
heard.
It started, well, first I saw something inside and I couldn't figure it out, but they were not outside. And then I saw this gross blob of yellow and gray. And it had malicious intent toward Hektor, and then it sunk down below the ground.
Martha pauses. Is this the disembodied form of the poltergeist?
Did I get that sense, Ty? That's what this was?
No, I think you would get the sense now that you're kind of, I think after you kind of shunted back into your own body and vision, you may just saw the tip of the head. You get and all around you, the motes of light have gone back. They're gone now. Everything's back to normal. Whatever kind of turned on this new sight, this new vision, that was a part of this, and now it's back to normal. Now you're saying things as they were.
Oh.
So this is a mind you haven't been in before.
That's what it felt like.
What has Hektor done in his long years?
I don't know.
Well, I guess I have to ask as a player, does Martha know what the hell this thing might have been?
So this isn't, this was kind of, well, let's talk about this. This was Lucy seeing with her sight what this thing really looked like as a out of character. This is using the sight what this lumberjack was without any sort of physical trappings is what you saw.
Oh, okay.
Using your new sight.
So it's the same type of thing, but not the same thing.
No, it is the exact same thing. It's just you. This is what you seeing it a true form using the sight. Of
As in the lumberjack was outside.
Their lumberjack was actually there.
Was it like
Correct.
just? Oh God!
Oh,
You
I'm
see
an
is actually
idiot.
looking
Got
with your
it.
different eyes.
Got
With
it.
your special
Good.
eyes.
My special eyes. Got it. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Thank you. All right.
Thank
I
you
got
for the
it now.
clarification.
Yeah.
Boy.
So the Martha. Okay, go ahead, Lucy.
Yeah. So I would clarify all of that.
Can't look at chat.
Chase, you're fired. Get out.
Yeah, get out. He just said for the VOD people, he said, what'd he say? Oh, I'm a lumberjack and that's okay. I work all night and I sleep all day. I guess it's a song.
Sure is.
Okay.
Oh, we're doing great. We're here now.
Well, I'm glad you saw it. I guess it really... It does seem to target us at night, but I'm assuming that when we venture forth tomorrow to learn its true name, we should be on our guard. It really, really, really wants Hektor dead.
It does, and there's very little left of who it was previously. It's just hollow anger.
Okay. I don't think there's anything we should do about it now.
Okay.
We're close.
I apologize for waking you.
No, it's fine. I don't sleep much.
Me neither. Okay, bye. And she's gonna turn heel and slowly walk out.
You do anything else for the night?
Well, I mean, I hopefully finish season 4 of Charmed.
Yeah. You finish season 4 of Charm. Brogy is now curled up all the way, clutching his notebook on top of Blaze.
I put a blanket over him.
Okay. And Smokey licks your arm as you lay back down.
These are now my best friends. This is my new pack.
2 Siberian Huskies.
2 Siberian Huskies and Brogy.
and a stoner. All right, you all wake up the next morning to the smell of cinnamon and apple. As there are Dutch babies being cooked. It's around 10, probably 10:30, 11 when you all reconvene. You are all now in the kitchen. Breakfast, mimosas, and Dutch babies before you.
I think during breakfast, unless anyone else had anything to say first, Hektor would explain the journey that he and Martha went on the night previously, including the victim, now ghost, now lumberjack, and the fact that there was actual memory that just didn't exist anymore. That wasn't fuzzy or weirdly fractured or anything, that it was just non-existent. Yeah, he would fill everybody in on all that stuff.
I think Darlene would also fill in, bring the class up to speed on the research that she and Lucy did. And that they sort of have a lead.
So you guys discuss your plans and your leads for a little bit before deciding where you all head out to for this day.
So it sounds like this Daryl Henderson is a promising lead. Sounds like a mundane... Well, it sounds like the most mundane way to learn this name.
The issue might come. It was a few decades ago, and he was just the owner of the store, so unless they were maybe a regular or something.
It's also a small town.
Right.
You're right.
And it
if
is.
someone was around and then suddenly wasn't.
It's also a singularly defining moment in his life. So that could either hinder or help his memory, unfortunately.
From personal experience, that is absolutely true.
If we go and do the talking thing and it doesn't pan out, there's always magic.
Yes.
It's gone very, very well for us so far. I'm sure it will be fine.
That's why we're gonna go do the talking thing first, right?
I think Lucy would probably share what she saw last night. So, Hektor, if you come with us, know that it's around and it really wants you still. And it can't come in here. It was real concerned about that ward.
Was the basement at Nana's warded?
The basement at Nana's, I think, is generally warded against most supernatural creatures and cops. If memory serves.
Phenomenal.
all the forms of evil.
all the monsters.
Absolutely iconic.
Okay. If it would be safer for you all, I could wait back at the lodge. I have some things I need to get done and dig through some old papers and research, maybe piece some more things together. But if there's a similar ward there, then at least if it does come knocking, there's only really one place it would go. And it wouldn't be near anyone, except for me. And I'd be in my little bunker.
I still don't. I think someone should go with you, though. A capable fighter, or someone who can get you out. Lucy, did you just salute at the table, the breakfast table?
I sure did.
Okay. I just want to make sure that was in character.
That absolutely was in character.
Action.
Yes, I'm not actually much of a warrior myself, so I guess I can go with Darlene to talk to Daryl. And then
Sounds good.
you and Hektor can go to the bunker.
Yeah, I'm not too good with people anyway.
Well, I can do a little bit of the people thing and a little bit of the magic thing, so I got my bases covered. I think Martha and I will do just fine.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So you guys seem to have your bearings. Hektor and Lucy are going to travel either via hearse or beat up Camaro to Nana's Fat Slabs, while Martha and Darlene head to the address, which I believe you guys found, or if you didn't, it would be a very simple find to get to Daryl Hutcherson's house.
Don't know the address. Time for the blood magic.
That'll be your secrets.
Quick question.
Brogy's holding an address book.
He's just not home. Straight to the blood dreams.
Question?
Did I heal? Did I heal less? Did I heal one?
Yeah, all of you heal one as you sleep. If you didn't
Great.
before.
Awesome. Getting there.
And now you sleep, you heal one.
Okay.
Okay. You guys headed straight to Nana's. Is there any other place any of you guys head to beforehand? Either team currently.
Unless Hektor has somewhere to go, I beeline it for Nana's. I do, however, before I go, remind Martha and Darlene about the van, and just ask them to keep an eye out for it.
Okay.
All right.
And then,
you
yeah. Martha and Darlene are headed to Daryl.
Okay. You guys head straight to Nana's Fat Slabs. As you guys enter, Hector and Lucy, it is still kind of in a state of roll investigate. One of you.
Me?
Oh, wait. Hector's smart. Never mind.
Yeah, dude, I'm smart. I'm sharp and weird. I'm a weird, sharp guy. That's all I am. Oh, God.
The
8.
stats say sharp, but the
8.
history
What?
with the lumberjack says.
Yeah, I think what you notice in your state as you walk back in, you do notice the marks on the table and the overturned champagne like stain on the floor. There are some more muddy footprints that weren't there before, and a couple more axe marks.
And the footprints look like they're from the lumberjack, not
Correct.
from some. Okay.
No, it's the same prints you would have seen before.
Cool.
And you
Well,
get-
that's good.
Get thee to the basement.
Well, okay. Bring the coffee machine down so we don't have to come back up. If you don't mind.
Sure, I can do that.
Thank you. And I'll start heading downstairs.
You grab the coffee machine and you head down as well, and you guys meet down.
I bring him some snacks too. This man doesn't eat
Bless.
enough.
This is correct.
Bring some nice meats. There's a nice prosciutto and ham.
Salami!
A whole charcuterie board. Just without cheese.
And some Chips Ahoy cookies.
The old
It's
meat
just-
board.
A meat board.
A meat board.
Yes.
And you guys head down to the basement, and you guys can.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Hector wanted to do something before going downstairs.
Okay.
Hector wanted to go outside.
Okay.
And if Lucy wants to follow along, then that's he won't stop her. But he's going to go to the tree or site that that Nana was buried at.
Okay.
And I think he'll sit there for a little bit, maybe like a couple of minutes or so. He'll look around, look at the ground, look back at the building, and then say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything. A friend gave me some really, really good advice, and I thought I would pass it on. I think I did everything that I could while we were together. I think it's going to be okay. I think so. But I'm glad at least you don't have to fight anymore. Good night, Gretchen. And he would stand up and wipe away some tears. Are they weird and gray, as an aside?
No, the normal tears.
Okay, good. And then he would head inside and go downstairs.
You are now downstairs with Lucy's coffee and snacks. And the camera pans up and across town to the Mercedes-Benz of Martha with Darlene in the passenger seat. You guys talk it all on your way to Daryl's? Or was it a mostly silent ride?
So Martha, how'd you get into this whole business?
Martha looks over at Darlene and has like NPR playing or what have you. I'm sorry. Are you asking about my career as a professional psychiatrist and doctor, or a monster hunter?
Yeah, the latter.
Oh,
I mean, unless the story are intertwined.
no, not necessarily. I first became aware of the supernatural threat. It must have been 10 years ago. About someone very close to me was unfortunately killed, and it gave me they were killed by a kind of a spirit entity, and it introduced me to the concept of the supernatural. And then I started researching it, and I actually tried to publish works on parapsychology, and started studying the psychology of monsters and those who hunt them.
Tried?
Oh, well, there's no journal to publish in, so publishing was out of the question.
Understood. So, is that sort of how Oak got into all this?
Martha stops the car. I really don't want to talk about this at this current time. That's okay.
Okay.
And then Martha keeps driving.
Sorry, I didn't mean to hit a nerve.
It's okay. Got it. Chat.
God damn it, time.
And you guys drive most of the way. It's not a very far drive, just 15 minutes across town, to the address you guys found for Daryl Hutcherson. You arrive at a moderately sized home, red brick. It stands before you, a black metal mailbox. Reads Hutcherson. And as you walk up, there's a pretty ornate metal knocker on the front door. Do you knock?
Oh, I would have said yes, but then you have to ask like that.
It's a door. Check it for traps.
Insight
All right,
on the door.
Roll plus check.
I'm here to help. I think you should lead this. I know obviously I know how to talk to people, but how about you lead this one?
All right. Darlene will knock.
Use the knocker. There doesn't seem to be an immediate response. You wait a couple
Time to
more.
blood dream.
Great. Super duper. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be an immediate response.
Is this where I read a bad situation?
Good, sure.
Are we in a bad situation?
Are we? That's what I want to know.
You could role play. It's plus sharp either way for investigate or read a bad situation. You could roll it and we'll talk afterward.
All right. That's good. No advancements for Darlene. It's plus sharp. The last thing I did was not magic, it was research. Okay. 12.
Very good. So with that, you haven't advanced either of those, have you?
I have not.
Okay, that's fine. You also get a plus one.
Right? No, I have not.
What did you? Sorry, quick aside. You
I
investigated use magic
and
Convince.
the talking to people.
Okay, yeah, we can talk about that. in a
Convince
second.
someone? Is that what we call it?
Yeah. We'll convince, and we can talk about that. Yeah. Okay. So you knock, and there doesn't seem to be a response. You see there are some lights on upstairs. And after, what do? There's some lights on upstairs, is what you see.
Okay, so I get to hold like 2 or 3 depending on what we're doing here, right?
Yeah.
If it's read a bad situation, then it's going to be, are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
No, there aren't actually any. There are no sort of dangers currently.
Oh, that's good.
Martha would definitely wait a couple minutes. He is elderly.
And you can hold. I'll let you hold them for a little
Okay.
bit, for as long until this full-on scene ends. You wait a couple. You kind of, Darlene. I think that's a natural reaction for Darlene to kind of scope it out and assume things might be awry.
Yes.
But you, after waiting like maybe a good 5 minutes, maybe knocking one more time, the door opens a creak and you see a slightly shorter man. He is wearing a jean vest with some patches on it. He's wearing black pajama pants. He's got a white beard and a kind of a mop of whitish gray hair. His teeth are slightly stained with chewing tobacco.
Laugh drained. I'm kidding.
My life!
Sorry.
Can I help? I'm sorry, I don't think I know either of you. Can I help you?
Hi, are you Mr. Daryl Hutchinson?
I am.
It is a pleasure to meet you. My name is Darlene. And I stumbled, and this is Martha, sorry.
Hi.
I stumbled upon, with Martha and a few friends, a bit of a conundrum that we're just trying to sort out. See, a friend of ours has lost some memories.
Oh.
We're just trying to help them find their way back to kind of a traumatic day. And I understand if you don't wish to speak of this, but do you remember what happened the day the video store burned down? Would you be at all willing to talk to us about that?
Roll convince. And before you roll, whatever, it's fine. You can tell me, it's fine.
What do you mean before I roll?
It doesn't actually matter. We'll talk about it either way afterward. This is a
Okay.
game thing.
All right. Okay. 11. So
Okay.
close. So close to the advanced.
So what we're going to talk about, just very briefly, I was going to talk to you guys beforehand, because I thought you may have advanced this for commit someone. On a 12 plus, what it normally is they want to be your ally right now. I know we have all talked in the stream about, certain characters you might not want as allies. I'll just give you a bonus like I would for magic. So if it's like, if you're trying to convince, Ernest Honeycutt of something, and you obviously don't want him as an ally, you can just say, okay, can I get some sort of bonus?
Okay.
That would be something that can happen for any sort of role, just so you guys know. He looks a little bit concerned. His eyes narrow, and he goes, "Yeah, you can both feel free to come in." And he opens the door.
Thank you. I'll follow him in.
It's a fairly nice place. There's a nice leather recliner couch, a very big screen TV, plenty of Blu-rays, VHSs, and DVDs lay sprawled on shelves. And you hear him call up the stairs. I got visitors, Mary. Just stay up there. It shouldn't be more than a couple minutes. And he kind of escorts you to his kitchen table. Can I get you all something to drink or eat?
Some water would be fine.
Looks at Martha.
I'm fine, thank you.
It's a glass of water and puts it in front of Darlene. Has a glass himself as well, just water. Was your friend around that day? I mean, what sort of memories are you trying to?
Yeah, they were there, and just had lost track of a few other people that they knew around that time, and we're just trying to sort out sort of what happened to them. The whole journey of trying to help them restore their memories.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing familiar faces and speaking with people who might be able to share some of those accounts.
I don't. I was there. I I don't know how the fire started. They said it was some sort of incident gone wrong. A fire spread from the forest, so I wasn't there to see how it started. But I know some people were injured in it. Whole place burned down.
Do you remember? Would I have been able to like make a copy of the news article with all the names and stuff?
Yeah.
I would just ask, is there anything that this news article didn't cover that you could tell us about? Any other names or?
You can roll manipulate or convince someone.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. 12 even.
Okay. As you say this, his face goes just sheet white.
Oh no.
And he says, "What? Yeah." And I think he looks. I think the prevailing other than like fear is just kind of confusion. Yeah, I mean, as you saw there, someone went missing. And you say your friend knew people back then? I mean, might I know them? Your friend?
What was that?
Do I know your friend? The one who, was here from many years ago trying to regain some memories? Would I know this person?
Well, I'm not really sure if you would or not. It definitely was before my time, before I came to this town, and really, I'm not really all too familiar with who was who and who knew who back then.
But
I know that there were strange things that went on in this town then, and probably people who didn't appreciate their names in papers.
He nods. Yeah.
And, one of those people who we presume was trying to help sort out those strange occurrences, and we presume was trying to help people then, is just having trouble remembering things that went on. There's more strange stuff going on now, and I and my friends are trying to deal with it to keep people safe, and we just need more information in order to do it. We think there's something going on now that started then, and any information, any names or leads that you can give us would help a lot.
He takes a second, takes a sip of his water. Well, the paper, part of it was accurate. There were two younger kids who were there, and were just had some slight smoke inhalation that day. Made it out, but there weren't anyone who went missing. That was something his dad wanted me to tell the paper. There was a young man there that night. Didn't work for me. Just there to see another employee, surprise her. And he was in the back when it happened. Caught fire.
Do you know what their name was?
His name was it was Cameron Teller.
Sorry, Cameron what?
Teller.
Martha's gonna say, just to double confirm, did Cameron have flowers with him on the night of the fire?
Yeah, he was gonna surprise his beau at the time. Elaine. She was one of my employees.
Elaine. Martha shoots a very knowing glance to Darlene. Thank you for sharing that.
His daddy wanted to keep his names out of the paper, but people had seen someone screaming and hollering in the back, so.
Why did his father want his name out of the paper?
I don't know. He just asked me to do him that kindness, and I did.
Do you remember his father's name?
Yeah, I think it was, what was it? Eddie.
Eddie. Ooh, we're getting closer.
Mhm.
Name out of the paper. Might be nothing.
Just so that I, Alexis, am my understanding, Cameron died in that fire, and his father tried to have that covered up. Essentially,
Did have that covered up. Basically, had it stated in the paper that a minor went missing, is what that he had asked this man to tell people.
How old was Cameron at the time?
Oh, he was in his 20s. He was, I think, 23 or 24.
Minor as in a young person, or
That's
minor
what
as in someone who mines?
No, as in minor. They just said that in the paper. It was just a lie, so it was people didn't look into it.
All right,
basically.
sorry, I was just like,
Yeah.
M-I-N-O-R or M-I-N-E-R?
yeah.
He was mining for those VHSs.
I mean, I don't know, man.
Mm-mm.
It was just an
Up it,
easier.
James,
It was
get
basically
out.
just an easier.
Okay.
Just an easier cover up, basically.
Yeah.
What do you know about Eddie?
I mean, Eddie was, he's an older man, kind of set in his ways. I haven't heard anything from Eddie, and I don't even know if he's still in in town. But he was always very curt, harsh. I don't know how well on him and Cameron were. Yeah, that's all I knew off the top of my head about old Eddie. I was close with Cameron.
Did he have any, close relationships with anyone else in town back then?
No, I think he, after his divorce, I know he just, either stood in or went to church.
Do you know who he was married to?
Oh, Meredith.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what church did he go to?
The one up, Fellowship of the Hushed Hands.
There it is. Yep.
Yeah, okay, great.
I could see it in Matthew's eyes. I'm like, I'll let him take this.
Thank you. Fucking hell. I'm sorry,
Anyone to the cult?
Yeah. I'm sorry, just to clarify, were you there that night the fire happened?
I was, yeah. I was working.
What started the fire?
I didn't see it directly. I know it spread from the back. That's why Cameron was the first one to go up. It started from the back of the store to the front because they said it started in the forest, and we were pressed right up against there. And it spread. I don't know. They said it was some sort of, experiment gone wrong, or a sort of, some sort of bonfire or something that just went awry. I don't think they ever caught whoever did it.
Fuck. Okay. Okay. I think Martha just leans back. I don't think she has anything else.
Would Eddie have been around the age of of Hektor and Nana back then?
He would have been. I think he would have. You can ask this guy.
I mean, is he
Eddie,
about that age now?
a little bit. Eddie would have been probably a little bit older now, just the hair older than. Well, I mean, if you're asking his age, he's probably in his, a little bit old. I think he was a little bit older than me, maybe like 5 years. We never went to high school at the same time.
If it isn't too much trouble, did you know Gretchen or Nana very well back in the day?
Yeah. I mean, not well, but as well as, she was back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I went
back
to
about that time.
Yeah, I went to a couple barbecues out at Nana's Fat Slab. She had a nice did a rib up real nice, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of spice. Yeah, a little bit. Why?
Do you remember anyone that she tended to hang out with?
She seemed always to be the we weren't that close, but I know she always seemed to have she never seemed to really be alone. I know she had some friends that would stay with her, or, workers, or her restaurant was always pretty full, never empty.
Any names jump out at you that just kind of there a lot with her?
Yeah, I think he thinks for a minute, but then just kind of not off the top. We weren't close. Nothing I could do. I'm sorry, nothing off the top of my head.
That's what we want to hear.
Well, this has been very, very helpful. Thank you so much for taking the time. If I can buy you a coffee or get you a drink down at Wood or something, to say thank you for your time. I just,
he exhales.
I understand this was hard to relive, probably. So
he exhales deeply. Honestly, it felt better to get off my chest. I hadn't really told many people about that. If you're willing to buy me a drink or do me, a solid, you're into. You said you guys are here investigating some sort of oddities. Do you like things like that? You like the things a little scary?
I love them.
You too. Oh, you as well?
Yes, I write about them.
Well, it's fascinating. I have that's my granddaughter's upstairs. We do a horror podcast. We talk about movies or shows, and we put them out. Now, a couple people in town listen, nothing big, but I would love if either of you would be, willing to be on an episode. We can talk about anything. What's your favorite thing?
You see Martha's face sour. If there's anything I can't stand, it's streamers and podcasters.
Oh, that's awful power. That's a powerful opinion. It's just something fun to do as a hobby. We don't got no Casper, mattress sponsorship yet. We're just, here for fun.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Why don't you write down where I can find that? I'll give it a listen and I'll think about it.
Yeah. He writes down. Well, we're on Spotify. We're on Apple. It's called The Horror Hutch.
The what?
The Horror Hutch.
Oh, Jesus.
We got about, it's nothing huge. We're just people in town. We got about, I think about 14, 15 episodes now. Me and my granddaughter are doing one right now. So, probably up over the weekend. Put it back up.
Is that Mary? Is Mary her name?
Yeah.
Barbara.
So, yeah, give it a listen. Think about what kind of thing you want to, we can talk about movies, any sort of show, any sort of, sort of horror thing you're into. Yeah, I'll be right here. And smiles and stands up.
Thank you so much for this conversation. This exchange was both fruitful and enjoyable. It was a pleasure meeting you. Goodbye. And Martha leaves.
Oh, well, all right.
Thank you, and thank you again. And I'll get back to you on that.
Great. Thank you, too. And he shows you both out and closes the door.
Imagine having a podcast or a live stream. Despicable
In-
behavior.
Degenerates.
In Hush Hollows, where phones don't work. How are they podcasting?
Yeah.
Phones.
What is this, Ty? Where's the consistency?
There's podcasting, but there's no phone.
The internet does work sometimes. The phone connection doesn't always work. The internet is
You can call
intermittent.
through the internet.
They
That's the
drive-
thing.
They drive-
This one house has all of the internet access.
Yeah,
in the entire
it's
town.
always
It's
it's
all
drive-
all wired through the
They
Hutchison
drive-
house.
yeah.
It's one house that got fiber optic.
They drive. No,
The
they
one
drive.
house.
They drive like an hour to do the upload.
There it is.
There
They
it is.
recorded then just
That's where it
drive
is.
the
Yup.
nearest town.
Are we to believe?
Yeah.
They put it on a flash drive and put it in everyone's
Who to
computer and
believe?
upload the episode.
It's a local podcast. Yeah. They share it with via USBs, thumb drives.
Floppy disks.
Yeah.
You guys are now back in the Mercedes-Benz. Is there anything you guys say before you head to Nana's or anywhere else?
Is there anything to do with those one or two holds that I had from?
You could ask. You can either ask him. I mean, you could ask him something else if you'd like to, or you could.
I just,
for the
yeah, the mystery or bad situation. Which
yeah. Give me a second.
What's being concealed here with Eddie?
Nothing really.
Besides the cult.
Yeah. What's
with Eddie, you wouldn't. That's not really. You don't. He didn't. He gave you pretty much all he knows. The only thing from this exact situation, I'll let you still hold one over depending on what you're asking later on. You'd find that if you ever need, there was a light on upstairs. You also notice a window open for what's my best way in. If we need to break into Daryl Hutcherson's house.
Hey, we're breaking into his house.
Break into his
Fucking-
house and
Yeah.
Steal his
steal all
podcasting
his
equipment.
cult stuff to do
Yeah.
big magic. It's fine.
Yeah.
Steal his VHSs and his podcasting equipment.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys head
Tamper
back.
with it and then agree to do the podcast.
Just despite him.
Oh, gee, it's such a shame that it just didn't work.
I got no
tried.
fashion. Let me just.
Oh, you went robot for just a second.
I did?
What did you say?
I had some sort of snarky joke. I don't remember. I don't remember.
Ty has no object permanence and no memory. He just exists.
Something.
Exists in the moment, purely in the moment.
Correct. You guys begin to head back to Nana's. And we go back to Nana's. Hector and Lucy, do you do anything in the basement?
I'll be right back.
Hector thinks about working on the back order for ye old's police force, and then remembers that he has some weird gray stuff that came out of his face, and he wants to do some science.
Yeah.
Try to figure out what that is.
Sure. Roll plus weird.
Does this role involve my field of study? Perchance.
No, actually, this doesn't.
Okay.
At all.
It's a 10.
That's good. I think with a 10, you're kind of using invest. Did you have a special move? Or did you kind of roll and investigate for this?
I think it would just be a general investigation because I don't think anything that I have, unless this counts as a me needing a special item,
Yeah, not so much.
would work for it.
I think with your research, and it takes a little bit of time, you find that it's not a one-to-one, but there are some similarities with ectoplasm that you can find in this gray goo. It's not the exact same as you've seen from the residue of ghosts, but it has some kind of similar notes to it. Markers. The The other thing I think you would get with 10 plus is you did. It once again doesn't look the exact same, but you have seen some sort of gray goo leaking out of the lumberjack. Doesn't look the exact same, but similar.
Okay. I think he would be talking out loud. Not necessarily to anyone. But I think he does acknowledge that Lucy is there. So he's kind of talking through everything. Basically sharing the same information with Lucy. And I think he'll look up from it and be exceptionally confused. And look towards Lucy. Is Lucy there? I don't want to assume Lucy is there the entire time.
Oh no, she's literally there. She's got her feet up on a table and she's just watching.
Okay. And he'll look towards Lucy, and this is not supposed to be in here. The thing that you described last night, that the way that you can see things, I don't want to ask you to do something that would be uncomfortable for you, but do I look strange?
She glances down at your arm. Does he look strange?
Are you gonna try to kind of activate this newfound
Sure.
sight?
Yeah.
That's weird. You can't fail because it's not a move, but
11.
you see there is no specific there is a slight aura around Hektor. I think everyone gives out. You can kind of now see a little bit of aura around people. There doesn't seem to be a super it's not the exact. It's not what you saw last night. It's not a ghost energy source of any sort of way, shape, or form. But it is a human aura, but there is kind of an odd swirl to it, and something does seem a little bit off. And there is no aura around his arm, his mechanical arm.
Stop it. I'm sorry. He's got my headphones. You don't look weird per se, but there is something off. It's not a normal aura.
Well, I don't feel different, do I, Ty?
No.
Okay.
Not currently. You're fine.
Okay. Well, maybe if we take care of this lumberjack problem, maybe this problem will go away.
Maybe. I'm not putting my money on that one.
Trying to be more optimistic these days.
Oh, I'm sorry. Perhaps it will. Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
Hello. There we go.
Nah.
Cat.
After this, you, Darlene and Martha, kind of head back downstairs to the lodge, and you all reconvene.
I think on our way back, Darlene, as long as Martha's willing, Darlene would try to find out where Eddie lives.
Yeah. You could, roll. Oh, yeah, I'll let you use your last kind of, hold for that if you'd like to.
Okay. Yeah, just sort of scope the place out.
Yeah. I think you ask around maybe some people. You find the Teller home, and it is up for sale. Eddie has passed away about a year and a half ago. Old age. He was in his mid 70s, 80s.
The house is for sale?
House is for sale, yeah.
Perfect. And what happened? Is there any word on what happened to the things that like his possessions?
I think an estate sale. The house is pretty much ready for to be sold now. There's not there's some furniture left in there, whatever the realtor felt was good enough. But
I couldn't just pretend I was interested in buying and get to snoop.
Yeah, you could do that, but there's not gonna be his his personal effects wouldn't be there. It'd be like a couch that he might have had that would be nice, or a desk, or maybe something hidden. But there's not a lot of his specific glass that he always drank whiskey out of wouldn't be there.
I just was looking for journals or anything.
If there was any sort of personal effect, it would either be something accidentally left behind or something hidden very specifically. That would be hard to do, asking if it's an open house, you might have some decent luck. Asking a realtor to show you around and trying to steal things would be a little bit harder. Breaking in is always an option.
Okay.
So you guys kind of pull in, you at least pull in front of this house, which is a 2-story, white wood, blue roof, small home.
Okay.
I'm sorry, why are we here?
Just trying to track down Eddie, but he seems to have passed away. And it looks like most of his personal effects are gone. If we need to, we could try to get into the house posing as a potential buyer, but I don't know how much information that might yield to us at this point.
Okay. I think we should probably double back to Nana's and stay the course since we have what we need.
Sounds good.
Okay. You all reconvene in the basement after 10-15 minutes. It's now kind of midday, maybe probably a little bit later, probably 1:30 p.m. as you all reconvene in the lodge.
Hektor, as an aside, we don't have to RP it or anything. Hektor would, after the goo stuff, would kind of start to throw something together to give Honeycuff.
Yeah, roll your fabrication workshop.
Oh, God. Weird. I'm so weird these days. Thank God. That makes it a 7.
Let me look at your character sheet real quick. You can describe. There is a thing for it. I don't know
On a
what
7
it
to
is.
9, you can make it, but only barely.
Super duper. What is this thing you make?
So I don't know the specific tags. We can talk about those if we need to. But essentially, he wants to take the idea of the ghost bag, strip it down to its bare essentials, and essentially make like a bolero gun, but one that can only shoot really once.
Okay.
So something that could temporarily contain or hold back, or ensnare something, but that won't permanently seal it or anything. Something that would satiate Honeycuff, but also wouldn't really do a whole lot in the long run.
Okay, you make a ghost bolo gun. It is I don't think the gun itself breaks immediately. I think it's just that the ammo is exceedingly
Right. That's exactly
weird.
what I was thinking.
Yeah, so it's just kind of if you need to explain it, it's just hard to make bullets. Or bullets.
Exactly.
Bolos.
Yep.
It's very shoddily made and looking. There's wires hanging out all over the place and LED lights that you probably should put on that don't actually do anything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you have this ghost bolo gun that you can write down and gift him when he comes calling.
Okay.
And you're all in the basement together.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, go for it.
There's good news. And there's news. I think we've determined the name of the individual.
That's good. Is that the good? Is that the good news, or is that just?
That is the good news. The other news is this person's father had their death covered up and was also a member of the church. The Fellowship of the Hushed Hands.
Huh.
They covered up the fact that he died, and Daryl had no memory of, well, Hektor.
I think we might need to entertain the possibility that Hektor may have done what the Fellowship wanted.
Ty, racking my knowledge, do I remember anything about working with the Fellowship of the Hushed Hands?
You can roll fracture.
Uh-oh.
Unless this was...
I think with an 8, you kind of... I don't think you remember ever really being inside the building. I think you kind of... The brief flashes you can see, I think you see yourself in a much cleaner and, a newer looking Camaro, kind of scoping it out with Nana from the outside. You see yourself looking at it in glances as you walk on by, but I don't think you have any direct memories of being in there.
Okay.
Not necessarily, that you agreed to go along with it, but maybe that there was coercion. Either that, or maybe they were very upset with what you did.
Well, I'd like to think it was the latter of those two. I don't remember working with them, but that's not exactly something that we can rely on these days.
Especially with the memory you're missing. Like that's gone. I just feel like they're involved. Maybe I'm off.
I'm sure they're involved somehow. So we have the name.
Yeah, we do.
So I think we have everything we need to confront this monster and destroy them.
I'm guessing I'm gonna need materials for big magic.
We could do it. Why don't you guys do a once over of maybe looking through the library for how to do this? How to apply this sort of naming.
All right.
Thing.
Yes, please.
Someone could roll Martha, did you apply more books? Did you kind of add those in? Okay. Yeah, you guys
gain a +1.
Okay.
Gain a +1 when using the books.
Whoever wants to investigate can.
I have high investigation, but then also Miss Martha, if you would like to.
Sure. I'm pretty good at it. The ones to the left.
I would help out, but I'm actually worse at helping than I am at researching.
Oh, I would...
10.
Okay.
10, so false success.
You don't need to. You find a book kind of concerning this. This is once again kind of a weird thing, a weird situation with this thing being bound to a specific form. But you gather that the person using this name to connect to whatever creature it is, whether it be demon or ghost, needs to be either empowered by conducting some sort of ritual by themselves or being empowered by some sort of magic from another source. They can't just yell the name and hope for the best. So someone will need to be providing Hektor, ideally, with some sort of power behind this, whether he wants to try to do some sort of magic on his own or be empowered by someone else. It does have better success if the person has some sort of connection to whatever they're trying to name.
Biggest connection, Twama.
And the other thing you find, it's a process of A, magic, B, willpower. This whole thing, it's not something you just yell out and works, as we've talked about. But I think that's what you find.
I relay that to the group, of course. I don't do magic, just in case anyone was wondering. Never cast a spell before in my life, and I don't intend to start now.
I'm very much the same. I think
That's fair. I pretty much figured that I'd be doing the heavy lifting when it came to magic.
Okay.
Darlene, to answer your question for what, if you're kind of doing your own research into what you would probably need to, you could try to use a roll magic, just you'd have to do it a couple times, but if you want to do kind of a big magic to try to empower Hektor during that moment, you'll need to still use magic as part of this ritual. I think the rare or weird ingredient or supply, weird to other people, but normal to you, you'll probably need Hektor's blood. It'll help you. It always does.
Surprising literally no one.
I think those, I think in the specific side effect or danger, I think you can figure out without any much of an issue is it's going to some extent, it's going to leave Hektor open while he's doing this. While you are empowering him, there is going to be some danger to Hektor doing this. I'll give you that.
Okay.
That's what you get. That's all the information you guys have.
So I can do big magic to help.
Big magic, basically, I would make, if you wanted to use big magic doing those things I said, you'll hurt Hektor a little bit, and that'll be a damage to Hektor for taking his blood. But you'll use magic less, whereas if you want to just keep using magic on him, you could, but it would have to be more of a consistent thing. It would kind of tie you up a little bit more because you're continuously trying to empower him, as opposed to just doing one kind of big juice.
So big magic would have a higher cost up front, but would leave me available to help out if so.
In different ways, correct.
Okay. I will relay that information to the group and say that I recommend big magic, but I'm interested to hear your thoughts. I recommend doing the ritual up front so that I can help if something goes sideways.
I trust your judgment on that. You have more experience with the magic side.
I think it's pretty significantly in your court there, Hektor, because it would leave you open.
Well,
are we able to do this in Nana's or in the place that is warded against?
You'll have to do at least one magic kind of in the moment to kind of have it happen, like right at the kickstart. But everything else you could prep ahead of time.
Okay. What do you think, Hektor?
if we take it from a purely logical standpoint, one person potentially being exposed and in danger as opposed to two people being potentially locked in and vulnerable. I think it's pretty obvious to me 1 is a lot smaller number than 2.
Yeah. You'll be going in a little hurt. I do need to take some blood.
Well, that is, I'm starting to get used to not feeling great most of the time, so.
But the plus side is I can watch your back better when we're there. Martha, Lucy, you have any input? Differing opinions?
No. No, I don't. Feel like I've taken this thing as far as I can. I think the rest is really up to you all. I could help, tend to people's wounds when this whole thing goes down, but I'm not a fighter.
Well, I'll just, I'll just do my best. I'm going in not entirely, 100%, but I think we need to be cautious about where we choose to do this.
Absolutely.
It shouldn't be around other people, although it sure would be convenient to be able to do it right outside here or the bed and breakfast. So if shit goes sideways, we have a place to run to.
I think here would be better than by the bed and breakfast, just because.
People.
Yeah, and that's somebody's business and livelihood.
Oh, right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Whereas this place is already kind of a wreck, and it already needs work, so. And nobody's using it to earn income at the moment anyhow. We already have the bait. This thing is going to come for Hektor, so I think just once we're ready.
Emma, when you said that you weren't 100%, does that mean that Lucy saw his harm?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know if you would want it, but I could help revitalize you a little bit.
Like how? What are you gonna do?
I won't lie, some of it is experimental, and I don't know, given your general nature, it's a little I could try to help from the inside out, essentially. Kind of eyes these like different colored liquids.
If it doesn't work, will it hurt me? Or will it do nothing?
No. Well, it probably won't hurt. Side effects may vary.
Just Martha, did you say you can help heal people up, make them feel better? You mean physically, like heal them up?
I'm a medical doctor.
And does your manner of healing people up tend to leave gnarly scars? Or have
Unfortunately,
undetermined side effects?
Unfortunately, the answer is yes, because this is how the game works.
See, mine doesn't.
What game?
Game of life. Once you're
Yours
in the
doesn't leave
game.
scars. Yours certainly doesn't leave scars, Hector.
Mine sure does not leave any scars.
Mine can increase harm. It's medic. It's the medic skill. It's the
I'm
medic
also
move.
dead, so I don't know how that impacts me. Does it
How much
impact me if I'm already dead?
How much harm you got, Lucy?
I have 2.
Help with that.
Well, I mean, sure. If it as long, I mean, am I gonna like grow with like a third or fourth eye somewhere on me?
No, I don't think so. And because he got your consent, you did say sure. He's just gonna shoot something in your arm.
Great, cool, wonderful, awesome. Here we
Press me on
go.
the doctor. It's fine.
What wonderful.
Fine. Oh, it's really, really, really fine, actually.
Wait. Hold on. You have to roll for it, right?
I did. Yeah.
So what happens when you miss?
Something weird.
You're like, oh, mine doesn't leave scars,
No.
bitch.
Yeah. Well, that's
Okay.
where.
So to
It's not
alleviate
scars,
any
it's just extra eyes where
correct.
there shouldn't
To
be.
alleviate any anxiety, I did not miss. In fact, I got a 12. But if I had missed, something unexpected occurs. The subject will have a weird side effect of the keeper's choice.
Okay, so
It's
Oh no!
thank you.
But
Don't
Yeah.
do that with die.
It might be worse than a scar.
But instead,
You got
you're
some
stabilized and
unfortunate
healed
news.
2 harm.
So you're at full.
So you're at full.
Oh bless.
Yeah. Shoot you with some of that weed juice.
Oh my god.
Dank weed
That
juice.
dank weed
No.
juice.
No.
dank, man.
Feels good from the inside.
Wow. Thank you, Hector. That was generous of you. I feel like a champion.
Let me know if that changes, but good.
We'll keep on fighting until the end.
Okay. We can take 5 minutes here if you guys want to. We can also, you guys can set up where exactly you want this to happen, and we can take a break afterward.
I
I
think
think I should
that's
do my
smart.
ritual first.
Okay.
Oh
Sure.
yeah, that's true.
Wait, what? What are we doing? We're taking a break first?
Emma, how are you on time? There was a question in Zoom chat, but I hadn't answered either.
I'm okay. I think it depends on like how far over that we go. But also, I'm a sea of anxiety tonight, so it might be fine.
Okay.
I don't know if sleep is on the horizon anyway.
Yeah, that's. Let's take a 5-er.
Okay.
Sure.
Take 5.
All right, so thank you all, folks, for joining tonight. We have appreciated all having you here in chat. Be sure you are following. If you are already following, consider subscribing. If you already subscribed, consider gifting a subscription. We thank you again for that level 2 or 3 hype train earlier. That was very beautiful, beautiful of you all. And we will be back in just 5 minutes to see how this goes. Okay. We are back to finish out our episode here. Thank you so much, Manapot Studios, for the raid. Let's jump back into it. Go ahead, folks.
Okay. When we resume, you guys are in the basement, having just kind of ascertained a little bit about this. What will be necessary to undertake this ritual. What do you all do?
I start preparing the space.
Okay. You will need to extract 1 health worth of Hektor blood.
Ouchie.
I do so. I just sort of have Hector sort of bleed into a little bowl.
The mimosa bowl from upstairs.
No. And sort of just, keep dipping my finger in and drawing arcane sigils around in a circular pattern, along with plenty of lit candles and various other accoutrements.
Yeah, you see the kind of the strands of as you do this, the strands of blood kind of wrap around Hektor, preparing his body for when you cast the use magic at the beginning of this. When you need to, so his body, the ritual takes, and his body is prepped for when it needs to happen.
That's the oddest thing that has happened to me, and a lot of things have happened to me. Is that it?
Remind me, Ty, what exactly is this ritual doing? It's imbuing.
So it's kind of empowering Hektor once you encounter this thing to be able to name it and use it against him. How that comes out, you'll kind of find out as you do it, but it's empowering him to use this better, basically.
Okay.
Remember, using the roll magic will happen at the begin, not now. Everything else you can prep, and his body is prepped, but use the magic will have to happen as right before he does it. It's not going to last forever.
Oh, I don't roll the big magic now and to see how it does.
No, it has to happen at the beginning.
Oh.
Everything else can be prepped beforehand, and everything is prepped and taken.
Okay. Well, then, yes. So I just go through a process of sort of preparing this space and going through and sort of drawing a few of the same sigils on Hector's forehead, in his blood, and sort of over his chest and on the palms of his hands, sort of chanting under my breath as I do it.
Okay, you feel that the body is prepped until the moment we have to cast, but the strands have taken across his body.
Are you sure this won't smudge?
I mean, it's the process now that matters.
Oh.
It's a preparation.
You guys are about unless there's anything else you guys do to prep, where would you guys like this to happen, or how do you start this?
I do ask if I should bring and I kind of pull out this giant gun that I guess Oak is the only one who saw it technically. No, Lucy would have seen it, the lightning gun that almost killed Oak once. Should I bring this? Kind of looking more towards Lucy.
Okay, so I think we should just do a quick recap here. Of the number of times that I have been with you and you fired off one of your guns, how many times have been successful?
In the intent, in the intent that it was supposed to be used for, 0. They were effective. I'll leave it
against.
Okay. I'll just tuck it back in the corner where it was, slowly gathering dust.
You can bring guns once you've bumped your stuff up to a +1 or +2.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Until then, no guns and no capes.
No capes.
Do you want it, Lucy?
Your gun?
I know you have that.
I have a glaive made out of bone. I don't want a gun.
Speaking of which, I would like to imbue that with magic before we go do this thing.
Oh.
So it can actually hurt the thing.
Yeah. Not the whole big ritual thing, but...
Yeah, just roll it.
Alright.
It's a regular use magic.
10.
Yeah. It is imbued with magic. I think it's a plus. It says it on the character sheet, or the use magic sheet. It's +1.
+1
I
magic.
think. Each weapon gets 1 harm and plus magic. So it is once again imbued.
So where's Hektor being bait at? Is it outside Nana's, I'm assuming? We don't want to ruin our headquarters, or what are we doing?
I was thinking outside, like either the forest around or like near the driveway. So it's slightly away from the building, but not like
Perfect.
super far away.
Close enough that we can run and fall back if we need to.
Yeah. Okay. So if this is the case, Martha is going to pull out her knife. Shing! It's a magical knife. It's a magical
in the back.
magical dagger, and she's going to take up position and back to the tree, hiding and looking onwards. That's what Martha is doing.
Darlene is going to set up some weaponry at a fallback position in case we need to.
What kind of weaponry?
My God.
Remember correctly, I have a shotgun.
You do have a shotgun.
Yeah, Darlene has a shotgun that
You do have a shotgun.
Do you want a lightning gun?
You want?
No, thank you.
No guns.
None of your guns, just regular guns.
Yeah, not
Thank
you.
you. No.
Not you, never you.
She's gonna, prep the shotgun, make sure it's loaded, and somewhere with this lumberjack can't get to.
That's easy enough.
And any other things that Nana may have had. And is there a way to set up, like, there's ruined areas in this place. Is there a way to set up a trap in case we have to retreat?
The best kind of try, I think, with an easy, Nana's itself isn't protected. It's the bunker that's protected. So the easiest trap you could try to kind of do would be currently leaving the bunker and the freezer open. And if you guys need to fall back, running inside and trying to close the freezer and close the bunker and have it trapped inside that questionably powerful holding cell that was once very good, but has been broken twice since. So that might work to some extent, but it has been heavily damaged since it worked well.
There's a lot of things in that bunker area, though, that would not be good if destroyed, though.
But that would be in a trap setting. That would be the base. You guys know for a fact that the Nanis itself obviously isn't protected from this thing, but the bunker to some extent might be.
Okay.
Hektor had Nana's sword at some point.
You buried it with her.
Oh, did I?
Yes.
Dang it.
Alright,
Never mind.
do you want a sword, Hektor?
No.
Okay.
It was more for me as a player. It would have been sad.
I've got a spare silver sword if anyone wants it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Cool.
There was, that was for sure. Because you took the shot. Oak took the shotgun from Nana and not the sword, and the sword was buried in her grave because you didn't want to make it as a grave marker.
Oak
That's
said,
right. Yeah. I didn't want
Oak
to.
said, "You're dying. I need this," and took it from her.
I
Correct.
need
The shot.
Yeah, I have a silver sword, a magnum, and a magical dagger, and I can actually rummage around and try to find other weapons too with a move that I have.
Nice.
That's cool as
I
hell.
have a silver athame. That's magic.
I have a gun.
Yeah, we know.
A lightning
A
gun.
lightning gun.
We all know what your guns could do because you've damaged us with them.
You also have syringe hands.
I have one
Whomst
syringe hand.
among us doesn't have syringe hands?
So
Me.
keep inside yourself.
And you.
Yes.
Look really close at your
Check
hand.
again. All right, Martha's ready. She's Jamie Lee Curtising it up right now.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a minus with a
Knives
tough,
out.
y'all.
I hate that. Hate that. Do in
Okay.
fact hate that.
Well, you're going to stay back. You can record all of this.
I am more competent in fighting than
She's-
you.
Got some tricks up her sleeve.
Great.
What do you do?
Actually, sorry, I'm gonna change it up. I'm gonna be parked. I'm gonna be crouched behind. Didn't someone have like an old beat up truck?
That's
I mean,
right.
I have a destroyed
Camino.
Camino.
That's
Okay,
the shittiest car you guys have.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hide behind that.
Cool. I guess I would do a little walk. And then stand, or if there's like a fallen tree or a stump or something, sit on that until I can see or hear or something, sense something.
You wait for, you guys, after all of this, if it's now closer to 5-6, becoming nightfall, and as the sun begins to set, you wait for a little bit longer in your positions. Where is Lucy and Darlene, by the way, while Hektor is kind of being bait? What are your positions?
Oh, please.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember if the thing does what I think it does.
Lucy, do you know where you'll be positioned while
sorry, go
Darlene's thinking?
It's kind of independent on where
Okay,
Darlene's
sure,
going to be.
Sure.
Are there any hunting blinds?
Not on the edge of the forest. They'd be farther in, but not on the edge of the forest. You guys going too deep inside.
Okay. Nothing nearby that's elevated and stable, huh?
Second floor of Nana's. You could be on the second floor and open a window out. Get a visual.
How far away would that put me?
A couple. I mean, it's depending on how far Hektor goes into. Like I think he said he was on a stump on the forest edge, so you'd be able to see him. You'd have some. You wouldn't be able to like jump out and stab it if it shows up next to him, but you'd be able to hit it with something with, a spell or a gun.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I just want to find some high ground somewhere that I have.
You could climb a tree too. So just climb up into a tree.
Telekinesis my way up a tree.
Sure. float your way into a nice tree. Just
just lifting myself up. with
calling
my
upon the darkness to lift you.
My eyes going stark white.
the trees shake, like leaves fall everywhere.
It's even a tree with like the ladders. Like some kid has come along and put ladders in.
That's
and
right.
just
That's right.
Still conjures the darkness.
I bend the boughs of the tree down to lift
Yeah.
me up into it.
Well,
And Lucy?
Wait, what? So are you climbing a tree or are you on the second floor of Nana's?
I'm gonna
Tree.
be up in a tree.
Okay, great. I was also going to be up in a tree, but I'm going to be significant. I want to be relatively close to Hektor. and I'm assuming with my strength I can just hoist myself up there. But I'm going to have my glaive at the ready, and I would like to, as soon as I'm up there, try to tune into, the monster.
Whose cat is that?
That's Finn.
Okay. Yeah, you are there. Hector, you wait as night begins to fall. Everyone in their positions as you wait for a couple hours. And you see, after quite a bit of time, just in your own thoughts, you see about 20 feet in front of you, you see the red beanie of the mascot begin to elevate out of the ground as this thing slowly begins to lift up in front of you.
Well, I'll no longer be seated.
Okay.
as a aside. Stumble backwards. Is it literally like
It's just
right in front of me?
It's about 20 feet away. It's beginning
Okay.
to lift out of the ground and looking at you.
Oh God, that's terrifying. Hector would take a couple like instinctual steps back from it. And would shout to it, "I'm sorry, Cameron. I'm sorry for everything that I did. Really, I am."
Darlene, that would be a good time to use magic as Hector is doing this.
Okay.
Do really
we
good
go.
magic.
What was the last thing I did?
No.
It was magic. I have a +1.
Yeah, it was
Covered
enchanting
in
the
his
weapon.
Oh, that's right.
And also that.
That too. Well, that wasn't a use magic roll to cover you in blood.
Oh,
That
that's
was
true.
just
Yeah.
prepping.
12 even.
Good. Very good.
Advanced.
Nice. An extra bonus. Yeah, we'll talk about what that is. You feel energized, Hector, as Darlene kind of, incites the words, uses the small amount of blood she kept from you to empower you as you begin to glow slightly. While this is happening, while you are beginning to say this, empowered by these words, you see the lumberjack raise his axe up, and he hurls it at you as hard as he can. It lodges not hard, but it kind of cuts you in the arm. And the next thing you see is it disappears from view and teleports about 20 feet closer and is holding the axe.
Now I have to ask because it's important for me. Which
Yes.
arm is it in?
It is in your mechanical arm.
Oh, nice.
So it's just kind of caught between the metal. And
Okay.
as you say this, kind of say these words, empowered, you feel your vision begin to fade and your body goes a little bit limp. What the others, all of you around, see is you see this happen. You see this axe fly through the air, immediately followed by the teleportation of this large lumberjack mascot, just right on Hector. And then you see a pause as both of them just kind of freeze in that moment for a second. Hector yells what he does, and his eyes kind of glaze over, and they pause for a second. And then what you see Hector kind of stand still, and this thing pulls the axe out, and the joints begin to loosen. You see this gray ectoplasm kind of just elongate and stretch as the arms become way too big, and the head kind of lolls to the side, and you can see the gray just attaching it, and it kind of just looks around confused. Hector, what you see as you kind of refocus is you are somewhere else entirely. You see yourself in the football field from the 1980s. There, the building is newer. You are standing at the end zone, and about at the 50-yard line, you see this thing staring at you, about just looking at you, not axe in hand, and it is beginning to charge.
Oh.
What else do you do?
Well, I wish I had a fucking gun with me, but now it doesn't matter. Jeez. Okay.
Fuck.
My thoughts exactly. He would, I think, instinctually take a few steps as if to run away.
Okay.
And then stop and kind of stand his ground. And once again shout to this creature, I only did this to help you, and I'm sorry that it didn't turn out the way that it was supposed to. Let me make it right.
Okay, so what happens is this thing continues to charge you as you say this. Your body still, the strands of blood is still kind of glowing around you as you say this. It is now on you. It grabs you with both of its large mascot hands and hefts you up into the air, your feet off of the ground. And he says, or this thing says, how could you possibly be sorry for something you don't even remember? And then as it's holding you, you feel it slam you down, but you don't hit the turf, the astroturf below you. You hear a shattering as your back slams up against a small shelf and beakers and vials crash, and you are inside of your laboratory, what it used to look like. As this thing is holding you, your back, you take one harm as you are now slammed up against your own desk. You feel the glass in your back, cutting your scars. You see this thing holding you, and you see its mascot face, its lumberjack face. You see it beginning to flake away in just pieces of ash and float up into the air. And you begin to see a yellowish gray glow from beneath the wire mesh that makes up this mask. For everyone else, Lucy, Darlene, and Martha, you see Hektor kind of just standing in a daze. This creature, now with way too long of limbs, axe in hand, is just beginning to violently just twitch and throw its arms over, and it looks like Hektor is going to be hit very soon. Not that this thing is purposely attacking him, but just lashing out any way it can in a feral manner you haven't really seen before. And Hektor is just standing there. What do you all do?
Can I try to use force of will to temporarily interrupt this thing's abilities? Or some ability?
You could try that. So you could try that. You roll for that. That's right.
$11.
So the 11. And you get to choose to shut it down. That shuts it down, or you can choose to use luck to shut it down forever.
On this one. But,
okay. Well,
momentary magics are canceled completely.
Yeah. So what you gather from this, as you're kind of like peeking around in the mind that you see, but inside of it, as you're kind of attaching to this thing, seeing its abilities, this kind of elongation isn't necessarily an ability; it's kind of part of it. But while you're inside, here's the kind of things you denote that it can do. The teleport, that is something that you saw it do a second ago, that you've seen it do before. It can easily cover distance with a teleport. It still has some ability to be incorporeal. Those are the things that I think immediately jump out as things that can be shut down. One of the two of them. Also, if in kind of the same way before, while you are inside of this thing, you see the two runes kind of denoting that as well. And if you were to spend a luck, you would be able to absorb them. So you need to
Said
read.
I would do what?
If you spend a luck, you would be able to absorb them like before. So this is
Oh,
another
no.
dark magic. So you need to roll to resist it if you want to, or take the experience and take it.
You could gain the ability to go incorporeal or blinking teleportation permanently.
I'm gonna spend the luck.
Yeah, you sure are.
Which one do you take?
I'm gonna mark experience for taking it
Dark
too.
experience, yep.
Oh, Mary. Okay. Which one do I want? Do I want incorporeal or temporary?
You can take a second. You can take a second while
I
other
want
people.
teleportation.
Okay, yeah. You see that the rune kind of like stops glowing inside of this thing as you see a little bit of blood wells up on your arm in that same symbol. As you can now add to your use magic list, you can blink. You see Darlene is like, her eyes are white again as she's like, the wind is rustling the leaves. Martha and Lucy, what do you do as this thing is... She stopped. You don't know you don't know really what Darlene did. She did some sort of magic, but it's still elongated and flailing around.
You just hear from up in the tree, like the wind rustling up around her in the tree, like the leaves rustling, like the boughs bending. And Darlene is saying, Cameron, tell her, by blood I bind you, by earth I bind you, by wind I bind you, and just going on with elements and blood and just rotations.
And you might, if you notice, see it. There's a different symbol on her arm, like in blood, that is now there on one of her arms. Lucy and Martha, what do you do?
Seeing this, Lucy's going to immediately jump down out of the tree, and she's going to use her glaive and try to she ideally would like to, if the tree that she jumps out of, can she push him into the tree with the glaive, like in their stomach?
If you choose, put them in where you want them as a roll for
yeah. Okay. I would like to do that.
Yep, roll.
Holy shit!
14, that is very good.
Y'all are rolling like hotcakes.
And kick some ass is advanced for me.
What do you pick as your enhanced effect?
I don't know what my options are. I'm so nervous right now.
It's either all hunters involved in this fight will get a +1 forward for the next roll. You suffer no harm at all. Your attack will inflict double the normal harm, or your attack will drive the enemy away.
Everyone gets +1.
Okay. Everyone gets +1 to the next roll. Hector, that will include you, even though you're in a different kind of state.
Does that stack?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, +1 forward stack, yep.
I think so.
Cool.
As long as they come from different sources.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
For sure.
So that's what you chose instead, is that everyone gets 1 forward instead of so you stab it through. You don't quite make it into the tree to trap it, but you do stab this thing through, and it takes what's your harm on that thing with the +1 from the magic?
3.
Okay. Yeah, you pierce this thing through, and you see, as you pierce it, it's maybe like 5 centimeters off from where you pierced it the last time, and the wound is no longer present, but you see that the suit has kind of puckered and closed to where your last attack was. You pierce it, you see the gray kind of ectoplasm begins to leak out again. As you try to drive this thing back, one of its lanky kind of taffy arms begins to wrap around your throat, and you take 2 harm.
Okay. 1 because of my armor? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Martha?
Seeing Lucy providing a kind of opening, Martha is gonna she's gonna stand up from the car, and she is going to step up to the monster, at the same time as Lucy is providing this opening. She's gonna breathe with like one knife in her one hand and one in the other, and she's gonna just thrust out her palm and try to push the monster away.
Okay.
Use my weird.
Sure.
8.
Okay. What move is this exactly?
This is no limits.
No limits. Okay, an 8 is... Let me pull that out.
So I do it, but I choose one of the consequences.
What do you choose as your consequence?
So it's either suffer 1 harm, take -1 forward, or you need to rest right now. I'm going to go ahead and take -1 forward.
Okay. So now you have -1 to your next roll. Yeah, you push this thing back. It's now like closer to the forest as you kind of just shove it with your hands. And this thing is now wrapped around Lucy's throat. Darlene is floating, and that's where you guys all are. Back to Hektor. Hektor, you are now slammed on your laboratory, the counter of your lab, as vials and beakers are shattered beneath you. And this thing has just asked you, how can you apologize for something you don't even remember?
Hektor would look around to see if there is anything anything that could be wielded as a weapon, such as syringes or anything like that could be grabbed easily and stabbed into the gray yellow goo.
It's not a goo, it's a light. It is a light beneath this out. Like as the mascot costume is beginning to flake away, you see a wire mesh where like there was felt on it. You see underneath it there is a glowing yellow gray light.
Okay. Hektor would respond. That's part of the problem, I do remember, and would try to get out of the grabs if he can, if that seems feasible.
You could roll take some math to try to do so, or you could roll
Cool.
Yeah, that's probably the one that will help you do that.
We're real good at that, folks.
I'll give you a bonus though if you're not trying to if you're just trying to get away, you'll get a bonus, and you have a +1 from Lucy. So you have a +1 from Matt. If you're not trying to harm at all, you get another +1.
I'm not trying to harm
so you have +2 to whatever your kick some ass roll is.
Sweet. 9 then.
Yeah.
8. Sorry.
Same.
Good math.
You don't really choose anything. So, like as more and more of this suit begins to just kind of flake and like float up into ash into the sky of your lab. What do you remember?
I remember you dying. I remember wanting to save you. And I think he stops because there is after that there's nothing.
You say this and there's a moment of hesitation as this suit is now you can see the wire mesh mostly. There's still a little bit of leg left, and it's a little bit of the arms. It raises its hand and it hits you hard in the face, and you feel a little bit of a crack as maybe a jaw has been fractured. And as you close your eyes and stumble backward to kind of maybe brace yourself on the counter, there's nothing to brace yourself with as you feel a wave of heat. And you see a burning forest behind you and a burning video store in front of you. And you see a just straight yellow gray humanoid shape at the back door staring at you. And we switch to everyone else. You are currently being bad choked, Lucy.
So, question.
Yes.
Is this thing considered a person or
No.
an object?
Well, somewhere in the middle, probably. It depends what you're rolling, I'll tell you.
I would like to make myself go incorporeal, so I can move through solid objects, but not through people. Would it work with this?
I don't know if you've tried this. I don't think you know with any certainty. As far as your knowledge is still, and which is correct currently, it can go incorporeal too, so you don't know what kind of effect that would have. You could certainly try it if you'd like to.
Yeah. I don't like a bad choke.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and try to get out of it by making myself go incorporeal.
Yeah, roll weird.
Okay. They don't fuck me, guys. Oh, bless double 6s.
Very good. Yeah. Without you pass through it, and you feel it's still corporeal at this moment. I don't even think it has the time to react as you just slip under and back away, getting a little bit more distance from this thing as the arm kind of like encircling you kind of just crashes into itself and unfolds, making another long arm with the hand and axe just laying on the floor. Martha and Darlene, what do you do?
Martha is going to double back. So Martha's just pushed this thing away from Hektor. Martha's going to look back, and they're just going to double back to Lucy. Is Lucy's just a little bit injured, right?
Correct.
Okay. No.
I know what I'm gonna do.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Thinking.
Yeah, that's as far as I've gotten.
I'm just gonna. I'm gonna try to use telekinesis to just blow this thing back into the trees, away from my allies.
Yeah, roll your telekinesis roll.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, that's a 4. Wait, no. 15?
Yeah. I think with those 2 plus 1 for the next rolls.
Definitely did the thing.
So I think we didn't really talk exactly about this, but I think since technically we made telekinesis a rote for your magic, you can use the advanced telekinesis options in the book, which I can tell you if you don't have it open.
I've got it pulled up, actually. Just need to switch to that screen.
So you can choose 3 options, and you can choose any of the 3 options below. And then we determine you won't really this suffering harm or other people causing harm. You kind of have a control over that because of your rote, because it's a rote for you.
Okay, I would like, I would like it to, I would like to basically implode, like crush it.
That's a good one, okay.
Yeah, so that 3 harm, close, crush. And can I also add something is hurt to harm smash? Flinging it into trees?
Sure. Yeah, you can do that if you want. Remember the other ones don't. If so, everything not picked is not true.
Right.
So keep that in mind. Pick another one.
I think perfect and precise control over exactly what happens.
Okay, and that's kind of flinging. You're flinging this thing. You crunch a little bit and chuck this thing into the forest. Okay.
Do I need to select? I can fling something bigger than a person.
Probably. You probably should. It is bigger than a person. Yeah.
Okay. Then I'll do the 3 harm with the close crush and something bigger than a person.
Okay.
Perfect and precise control. Those are my 3.
Yeah. You fling this that you crunch it in a little bit, and you fling it into the forest, and you see like the limbs loose as this thing just kind of flies in. Away from all of you a pretty decent distance right now. You can hear it beginning to you hear the leaves crunch, and you hear its limbs kind of like slithering a little bit as it tries to kind of regain itself. It is now Martha's turn.
Yes, Martha is going to start running to the lab looking for Hektor's gun.
Okay. It'll take a little bit of time, but you can you can run towards that point.
Yeah.
Hektor, you are now standing about 60 feet away from this gray yellow humanoid light, which is right by the back door of V3. You feel the heat hit the back. What do you do?
Question.
Yes.
Did I take any harm from my jaw breaking?
Yeah, you would have taken 2 harm from your jaw breaking.
Just wanted to make sure. Cool, I'm unstable.
casual jawbreak. Don't worry.
Jawbreaker. You know, it's fine. I don't think Hektor would do anything. Hektor's not intending to fight back.
Okay.
Because Hektor sees the anger of this creature is justified. And much like the guilt that he's felt, he wants this creature to feel as if their anger is. He wants it to feel.
Yeah.
And hopefully he survives.
Yeah. Roll plus weird.
Oh, good. Good. Oh shit. 12.
That's very good. Yeah. You this creature this light begins slowly walking towards you. As it does, you see the light begin to fade a little bit. You see the outline of jeans. You see a leather jacket as the light begins to fade, and this being becomes Cameron Teller, the person you held on in your arms as he passed away. The only light that remains is his eyes remain this blinding yellowish gray. As it walks up to you and he pauses, it stops. And he says, "Well, what have you done differently?"
I would have told you I was sorry and that I did everything that I could and sat with you, told you everything would be okay, and let you pass on, let you not fight anymore. A friend of mine gave me that advice.
You see him raise his hands for a sec. You see him raise one hand for a second, unsure if his intent, I think, looking at it, his face, which seems mainly expressionless. His eyes still aglow as he stares at you and tries to analyze you. And then he lets it go to drop to his side. And he gives you a slight smile. And the last thing you see before you are thrown out of this space is you see the light fade from his eyes. And you notice the eyes don't look like his, they look like yours. As this whole vision collapses around you and you open your eyes back exactly where you left off in the forest, everything gone. You all hear the movement stop from inside of the trees. It just stops entirely. Hektor, you can feel whatever way you want, less guilty. You can feel better that you are out of this space and this thing seems gone. But what you also feel is that you have lost something you can never get back.
What?
And that's where we'll end tonight.
What? Can you elaborate?
Okay.
Congratulations on winning. You've lost.
You lose.
Ty's
Good
taking.
day, sir.
You stole Busy Lifting Drinks. You did nothing.
Ty's taking some plays from my book.
It is.
I've done this before.
Yep.
Congratulations on victory. How do you feel? Just terrible.
Just so fucked up.
Congratulations on winning. You've lost.
Yep.
Oh my god.
That's where we'll end tonight. And we'll pick up with the aftermath of that next week. I'm Ty. Let's go around and say your name, favorite moment, where we can find you. Let's start with Lucy.
Hello, I'm Lucy. You can find me at MK Hansen on Twitter. Keep an eye on socials for the finale of our Heart game that I am co-GMing with Alexis. Maria is also in it. And you can find me here on Tuesdays, and you can find me over at Mythos Mystery Society sometimes. So let's see. I think my favorite moment from this evening. Ooh boy. I think the moment that I think the moment that the lumberjack pushed Hektor and he like realized that he was in his lab. And suddenly that whole scene had like, it was very cinematic in my head. That was my favorite moment. Speaking of Hektor / Maria.
Hey, it's me. Hello. I'm Maria. I can be found at Happy Capster on Twitter and on Twitch. I also can be found on Mythos Mystery Society at various times on various days, as well as Goblin Society Games at Society Goblins on Twitter. A bunch of TTRPG content being posted over there yonder ways. Also with the Witchy Sisterhood Heart game finale thing that's going to be happening very, very, very soon. My favorite bits and bobs. The whole fighting in like a dreamscape memoryscape is kind of one of my favorite things ever in like TTRPGs. I love it so much. I love dreams and like visions and things like that. So being able to go through an entire like encounter in that space was just so good. It was so wonderful. And I feel great. And yet somehow I don't feel like I won.
I didn't say that.
I mean,
I didn't say you didn't win.
I won, but at what cost? But that was really great. Beautiful, wonderful, fantastic. Alexis.
Hello, that's me. I'm Alexis. You can find me at Vox Fanato, and here where I spend all my available time. As Emma and Maria have said, stay tuned on our socials and in our Discord for when Hallowed Hearts finale will be happening. And a reminder to pay attention to the content warnings because that game is a lot. There's a lot of surreal horror and all sorts of different horror in that game. So take care of yourselves and make sure you're engaging in the content that you feel comfortable with. My favorite moment tonight, listen, I loved, this is Ty's masterful stroke of me saying as Darlene, I'm not going to spend the luck.
Not so fast.
And him going, okay, but your temptation though. And giving me, options that aren't really resistible. Man made an offer I couldn't refuse. And that was just brilliant GMing, absolute drama, shit stirring. And God, I hate it, but I love it. And now I get to blink. So I also really loved being able to actually have a conversation with somebody that didn't end in like somebody getting hurt or almost dying. That was nice. We're getting arrested. And Matthew.
Okay. Hi, folks. I am Matthew Foreman. You can find me at Matthew W. Foreman on Twitter and here, of course, on Twitch TV /Dice Priori and my own channel, Twitch TV /Matt Foreman, where I stream Dead by Daylight on Thursdays and Fridays. I'm almost rank 8, which is the beginning of the purple ranks. Road to rank 1 as a Legion main, by the way. My favorite moment was when when Hektor visited Nana's grave and used the words that Martha, had told him to use. Thought that was, I about cried. It was gorgeous. And then those words came up yet again with Cameron. And good God, good golly, Miss Molly, that's what we call some storytelling.
I literally wrote down, I rewatched it and I wrote it down word for word and I put a note next to it to do at Gretchen's grave. I was like,
solid.
Oh, this is going to be great.
Stunning. And Ty.
And I'm Ty. You can find me. Let's do the end of session moves
Oh, yeah.
first. Do we conclude the current mystery? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we'll do some ending stuff.
Finally.
Ending,
Something.
falling action
82
next
years
time.
later.
But
Yeah,
for that
that's
one.
right.
Did we learn something, or did we save someone from certain death or worse?
Hector?
We don't count hunters, but
Oh, damn it.
That's an interesting question. Did we save Cameron from anything?
that's a good question. What do you think? What does Hector think? Did you think you saved him in the end? How do you feel? Or how does Lucy feel? You two probably have the most say in it.
Did we save him from worse than certain death?
I think here's what I think. I think that Hector did save Cameron from this vengeful nature. Now, is Cameron going to be able to like move on from this? I don't know. But I think that he at least got him past that point of just blind, resentful rage. So,
Lucy, your input?
Yeah, for sure. Because being a poltergeist sucks.
Okay. Yeah. Then yes, you can answer yes to that one too. Did we learn something new or important about the world? And if so, what is it?
I think yes. We learned that you can't just use the true name of something without intense power behind it.
Yeah.
mhm.
And
Learn
we
more
all
about
And
the
it's
ritual.
not an instant like
Yeah.
we also
You get
learned
turned
that
into
we also
dust.
learned the name of a member of the church.
We did.
Correct. And then did we learn something new or important about? It doesn't really matter because it's too experienced anyway. But did we learn something new or important about one of the hunters?
Martha for sure.
What about Martha? Lucian?
Martha's got superpowers.
Martha's a
She-
vampire.
And we
She's
also
got
Martha's a
super
vampire.
strength.
we learned that Martha came into the supernatural because a spirit killed someone she was close to.
Sure. So 2 XP. You guys can mark 2
Here's
XP.
here's my theory.
Me too.
I think Matthew is using the vampire playbook for Urban Shadows and has
Yeah.
Yes, it's true.
Literally
We
no
all
one.
Big twist.
said
The
about all of us.
irregular
Yeah.
sleeping patterns, mind hypnosis. It was real hypnosis, like actual
Yep.
mind control,
Yep.
and super strength. It checks
Yep,
out.
you feed off of emotions.
I just told Ty I'm gonna play Urban Shadows. He's like, no, Matt, I'm like, I'm gonna do it anyway.
You got me there. Just make sure it's the same regular basic move. You can do whatever.
Okay, but what if I make blood dreams a rote?
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be a good thing to do.
God.
Probably
Maybe you shouldn't do it then.
I do think you have to cast it once before you can make something a rope. So you have to cast it once as not a rope before you do. But that you could save that. I would let you save that level up if you wanted for that.
I'll need to get your info for Blink before I
Yeah,
make a decision on what I'm how I'm gonna advance.
Sure. And I'm Ty. You can find me here at Dice Prayer on Tuesdays. You can find me at Mythos Mystery Society, where on our YouTube, Dave has started to release our Die Laughing game, which is going to be a short game, but it's a very fun horror improv experience that Emma and Maria are part of. It's ridiculous, but a lot of fun. And then tomorrow, we are beginning to do a session 0 for our Cyberpunk game that they will be running.
Oh, fuck, that's right.
That's the thing
Yup.
you're doing. Yep.
Yeah.
A Cyberpunk game that Dave's running. My favorite moment from this evening. It's a good question. Darlene accepting the deal was great. That was fun. That was good. And then the podcast reaction from Matt,
Oh,
from
yeah.
Martha. You absolute degenerate. Fucking how could you? That was
Hate
A plus.
podcast.
that was solid. So that's it for me.
Cutting
Alrighty.
down and leaving after that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Goodbye.
No more engagement.
Yeah. You won't be getting my engagement. Okay. Thank you, folks, for being here. We make sure you are following Dice Priority. Subscribe if you can. We appreciate the support and the resources because it does take resources, time, and energy. And your support goes a long way to making sure we keep everything open. So thanks so much for that. We're going to go ahead and raid So Many Games. They're just having a just chatting. They look like they're playing some game. Their word otaku is now on screen, so good luck with whatever that is.
Thank you, T-Bone, for the gifted subs.
Aw, T-Bone, thank you.
Thank you.
Blessing
Thank
of
you, thank you,
blessing.
thank you.
Thanks
thank
to
you.
our stream sugar daddy.
Okay. Bye-bye, folks.